Hey guys, I was doing a serious rant about what is the ketogenic diet, what are ketones. So I'm going to, and I looked up and literally it was like hitting 15 minutes. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I just was going off on a rant. So I had to do part 2. What is the ketogenic diet and ketones part 2? So let's get on to it. I explained it. Ketones are units of fat from your body, right? That's what we want. We want to convert body fat into a viable source of energy to go through your Krebs cycle to fuel your brain and cells to give you what? Energy, 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 energy. And if you are not metabolic deranged, you can tap into your body fat cells and get shredded. Because this, my friends, is the business as a woman turning 47 without any refeeds in 5 years. It's 5 now. It's freaking brilliant. All right. Second half, what's the deal? So I spoke about the ketones in your breath. I spoke about the ketones in your urine and the ketones in your blood. So we've got the acetone, we've got the acetoacetate, and we have the acetyl-CoA in the blood. Ketones. That's what we want. And we have to develop the enzymes to be able to break down these fats to do their job. So since you are glucose dependent, you're having enzymes or an enzymatic response to break down and to use glucose. So you try to do ketones and the body's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to use ketones, right? Ketones are units of fat, they're big chunky mother suckers, and they got to get through and push through into the cell to be used as a viable source of energy and also for the brain. And that, my friends, takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, and even though these people are peeing on urine strips, they are not producing ketones that are going through the Krebs cycle as of yet. And then over time, they're not seeing the dark purple on their pee strips. They're like, oh my God! Well, now it's in your blood, yo. It's not coming out of your urine as much. It's in your blood. And that is the reason why you don't see it. That's the reason why they're not good to use. They're not consistent. And they're a crappy source to check your ketones. Right? We want what's in the blood. Yeah. All right. So units of fat. And you got to eat fat to signal the brain to create the enzymes to drop fat. And it will only do that when it feels like it's not in starvation mode. If it feels like it's starving, it's like it's going to hold on to your body fat and it's not going to be using it as a viable source of energy, which is why people's keto flu goes on and on and on and on and on. Because you know why? You're producing too much sugar. You know why? Because you're stressing. Our ancestors were not stressing every darn second with decision fatigue and overstimulation and toxins like we do today. So the whole intermittent fasting thing, get rid of it. You're not ready. And every time somebody emails me about intermittent fasting, they're obsessed about getting ripped too soon. Yeah? This is a 5-year process for me to get, boom, not R2-D2, but it has been a process to allow my body to calmly go through each stage. This is the reason why I never went through the keto flu, is because I did everything slow. I was not in a hurry. Hey guys, I wasn't in a hurry. But I was definitely ready. You have to make that decision. Am I ready for this? Am I ready for the non-BS lifestyle? And of course, I call it non-BS because it takes everything you got to retrain your body and your mind to use a new fuel source so you can do what? Protect your DNA. I meet and I speak with some of these figure competitors and these fitness competitors, and they might look ripped and muscular, but you look at their faces and they look terrible. Their skin looks like just rashed out, dry, like freaking out. And of course all your organs are connected to your face. Yeah? Kidneys, colon, intestine, all of these things are connected, and so you can see that all the stress that you put on your body from dieting, and that's for everyone. People who come to me after they do the HCG diet, and then they come to me and you look at them, you're like, what? What did you do? What did you do by eating 500 calories? What are you doing? Stop being in a hurry. Well, it works. No, 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 no. You sped up your aging process. Yeah? That's not healthy to do that. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff I keep hearing. The measures that people take and all of the freaking peptides and the insulin and the freaking and the HCG and all this kind of stuff, and the T3 and the clan and all this kind of stuff to try to look good. Really? Really, 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 really? All right. So basically, I get a few competitors. That's why I'm kind of speaking that language. But let's just get to us people who are just normal in the sense of we're not competing, we're not manipulating our body fat for competition. I'm just talking about people who are just healthy, fit athletes in that context. All right, so here we go. So we know what a ketone is, right? We want to use a ketone because our brains prefer it. Your mental cognitive ability rises exponentially. Your memory improves. Depression decreases. Serotonin production. Your dopamine receptors. All these things become repaired, and you start to feel fantastic. Your energy rises exponentially, and it's boom! Success over time. So what is a ketogenic diet? I kind of explained it in my part 1, which is to, what is a ketogenic diet? It's to cut down your carbohydrates so you can allow this enzymatic response to start happening, to start breaking down that fat that I told you, the units of fat that are too thick in the beginning to get into the cells to use this as a viable source of fuel. And then, so you want to drop your carbohydrates. That creates fat signaling, ketone signaling, and then you want to have moderate protein because, of course, you're less in a catabolic state, which is your body's always going to rip apart amino acids and use them as a source of fuel when your gas tank is empty. And people's gas tank is empty all day long because they go and they skip breakfast and they drink coffee and then they go to work or they work out fasted. And then all of a sudden the body's like, oh my God, my gas tank is empty, and you're expending energy to drive the freaking car in 5th gear and there's nothing in the tank. And I'm not in ketosis and I don't know how to do de novo lipogenesis, and so therefore you put your body under stress, you guys, and we don't want that. So what you want to do is graduate slowly. You want to first deplete your glycogen. That's what we want to do first. Empty it out. So then that forces keto adaptation. But that depletion of glycogen only happens in a day, right? You're going to go do some cardio, 1 day, done, don't do it anymore. Then you want to chill the hell out, right? I'm always telling people to take their workouts down to a calmer state, less cortisol production during your workouts, so we cannot get back to your body ripping apart amino acids, raising your blood sugar levels, because if you have 2 competing fuels in your body, glucose will always win and you won't adapt. And now you're not eating enough dietary carbohydrates because you've taken your carbs down to 15 grams a day of veggies, right? And I don't mean onions and carrots. I mean cruciferous veggies. We're talking greens. We're talking low glycemic carbohydrates, high in fiber. You take it down to that, which is great. You know, we've got prebiotic fiber to fix our freaking guts that are just gutted and get some nutrients in there, some plant nutrients. But we are not exceeding our carbohydrates to then tell the brain, oh, well, look, crack is back. Why would we go and take those ketones, right? Why would we go do the acetyl-CoA? Why would we go and do that when we've got this lovely carbohydrate that we've been addicted to since we were little tykes? Hi, guys. You know you've got to let the force be with you. All right, here we go. Excusez-moi. I'm so excited. So excited. I'm so excited. What keto can do to the body as I'm 47, 3 years, gonna be 50. What? What? Yeah. And FYI, nobody in my family looks like me. So don't blame my genetics. Blame the way I've expressed my genetics, through my personality. All right. So, what does that look like? We've got some eggs, and we've got some bacon in the morning. We've got uncured bacon. We've got free-range eggs, bug-fed eggs, non-corn-fed eggs, chickens. And so we've got bacon, we've got eggs, and we might throw a little bit of spinach in there for our cooked spinach with some butter, some grass-fed butter, to get the potassium in, get that butter fat profile in, which is a great profile, or ghee. Also maybe a little bit of coconut oil in there. And that's your breakfast, right? Or you could do like a little slice of avocado with your eggs and bacon. You don't do pork, do turkey. Stop complaining, can't find uncured processed meats. Then go get a pound of turkey and make your own little turkey patty sausage and have that with your eggs. Protein, fat combo in the morning, yes? Because we're fasting, we want to break the fast. We don't want our fasted window to start in the morning like we keep reading. I've coached now over 300 people, and the numbers keep getting back, that every time somebody fasts, unless you're a young guy, it doesn't work. Yeah? There was a guy that I spoke to the other day, awesome, super sweet, yeah, in his 50s. He has been intermittent fasting and cannot drop a single pound. It's not working. Skipping breakfast and eating at lunchtime and fasting at night, 2 more, like this huge, the metabolism just stopped. Okay? It just stopped. So we don't want that. We want to be metabolically spry, we want to be healthy, and we don't want to fast, intermittent fast too soon. And I think that if people want to try it later when they highly keto adapt and you know you're in ketosis, then eat freaking breakfast, fast in your day, have your second meal towards the early evening, and start fasting from 5:30 or 6 on until you go to bed at 10 o'clock. That's what you want to do. Okay, so foods, what does your food look like on the non-BS diet? We're talking broccoli, we're talking cauliflower, we're talking cabbage, we're talking asparagus, we're talking, be careful on the kale because there's more carbohydrates in kale, and things like the Brussels sprouts. Cauliflower is awesome, obviously. We don't want cooked carrots. We don't want carrots. We don't want cooked onions. You could have maybe the green onions, leek, very tiny raw, like in a burger or whatnot. We want to keep our carbohydrates low. We don't want carbohydrates that are going to caramelize. Be very careful of tomatoes and tomato sauce and cooking them, and a lot of it, because they're going to bring in more of those carbohydrates, and then the brain's going to be like, well, look over there, there's some carbs coming in my way. We don't want that, you guys. So that's kind of like the non-BS diet. But what I would like for people to do in the beginning is have a breakfast, have a lunch, have an evening snack of fat, have a dinner, fast, then go to bed. That's what I put people on in the beginning. Yeah, because we want to mimic those same feedings that your body is used to. Because in the beginning, your body does not have the enzymes to break down the fat to convert into ketones that is viable for the whole body. You can release them and you can pee them out, but that doesn't mean that your body is using them. And that's why people are like, I'm in ketosis. No, 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 no. You are not highly adapted because your brain is still going, glucose? I mean, people can have these like, well, my blood glucose is 89. And I'm like, well, that's normal, right? You're not in ketosis. You want that stuff to be down, 70, 60. And then you want high ketones, yeah? We want 3 millimolars. We want 3, 4. That's what we want. Everybody out there, stop looking at the pee strips and start looking for glucometers. Yes, they're starting to do the acetone measures of your ketones through the breath, but I really prefer what's in the blood, right? That's what's in the blood. And even though you're producing ketones in the blood and high ketones, your body still may not know how to use it because you're producing too much cortisol. Okay, guys, that's it. If you want to learn more, you can go to stephanieperson.com or my Instagram, Stephanie Ketogenic, or my Facebook fan page, Stephanie the Business Person, because that's where I actually talk to people. Like the page, join up, learn more about how amazing it is to be in ketosis, no refeeding, no backloading, no cyclic ketosis, no carb nut, none of that. Just straight up strong, getting stronger every year, being in ketosis, almost 47.